This episode of Yogamazing is brought to you by Zumper. Now, I don't know about you, but finding and applying for an apartment rental can be a nightmare. Well, not anymore. Zumper is revolutionizing the rental industry by making it easy to find and apply for your next rental home from your iPhone, Android, or even online. Once your custom filters are set up, including the number of bedrooms, monthly price, and amenities, you'll get real-time updates so you'll be the first to know when a new apartment hits the market. Once you find your place, Zumper offers instant rental application and Experian-powered credit checks, making the process super convenient and ensuring that you get to the front of the line when you apply. Zumper has over 1 million listings across the U.S., so if it's up for rent, it's on Zumper. To get started to find your new home, go to Zumper.com/yoga. That's Zumper.com/yoga. Zumper. Make your move. Welcome everyone to this edition of the Yogamazing video podcast. I am Chaz. I'm your host, and welcome back. Now let's get into this week's email. Actually, it wasn't an email, it was a message, or it was a post on my Facebook channel. And I put the word out there in the Facebook and in Twitter, and I got lots of great responses. But the one I'm going to be choosing is a gentleman by the name of Joe. And he says, Chaz, how about some yoga for hip movement? I'm a golfer. And I thought, well, I needed to update this one. And hey, I do like to try to keep hip. Yeah, I know. It wasn't that good, was it? So that's what I'm going to be focusing on today, is a class for the hips, whether you're into golf or whether you just want a nice workout for your hips so you can have some good movement. So that's what we'll be doing today. So as always, if you'd like to participate in this, it's real easy. Send me an email, chaz@yogamazing.com. Of course, you can also friend me up in Facebook and in Twitter. And remember, we've also got more videos over in the YouTube channel as well. So please join the party, send me lots of ideas. And remember, as we go through today's class, to breathe, relax, and have fun in this hip version of the Yogamazing video podcast. Okay, from here, as always, we're going to open it up right into child's pose. But on today's class, I want you to open up your knees a little bit wider so you can get right into the hip work, okay? So we're going to open up our knees to the width of the mat. So take it as wide as you comfortably can. Let's get those hips opened up. And for a moment here, we're just going to drop our bottom between our heels and just sit here, breathing deeply. Now, if you feel this tightness on the tops of your feet, you can also put a blanket or something or a towel, roll it up, something that makes you feel a little bit comfortable. And then from here, I want you to stretch out on the floor, go to child's pose, deepen the breath, just hang here for a few moments. Remember, as we go through the class, you want to breathe deeply in and out through the nose. Allow the breath to be your metronome, your guide for the class. So whether the poses are hard or easy, the breath stays constant. And then from here, let's slowly bring it back up, sitting back between the heels. Again, just dropping it in here for a moment, sinking it in. And then from here, let's come to our hands and knees for the cat and the cow pose. Shoulders over the rings of the wrist, knees or hips width apart. And then we're going to inhale, look up, shoulder blades down, spread the sits bones. And then as you exhale, round, tuck, and squeeze. Inhale, looking up. And exhale, round, tuck, and squeeze. Inhaling, looking up. And exhale, round, tuck, and squeeze. Inhaling up. Exhale, round, tuck, and squeeze. Inhaling, looking up. Exhale, round, tuck, and squeeze. Inhaling up. Exhale, round, tuck, and squeeze. Now from here, taking it right up and back into our downward facing dog. So let's dig our toes in the mat, push back, keeping our knees bent to start with. Remember, Because if we're not warmed up and we straighten our legs, a lot of people kind of push forward and they go into like a rounded, soft N. That's not what we want. We want an upside down V, as I always say. So bend your knees, push it back, upside down V, flatten the palms, spread the fingers. You should be looking through the feet. Your neck should be long, your breath should be deep. And then drop to your knees. Instead of child's pose, I want you to drop it back, opening up the knees, and just sit here for a moment. Hero pose with the knees open, so you get a little bit of the hip. And again, one more down dog. Stay here and breathe. Again, bend your knees, push it back, deepen the breath. And then from here, I want you to bring up your leg into the air, roll that hip, push it back, though. Keep that down dog. We want that hip action right there. Roll the hip, point your toe, and bring the knee through. Lifting into the heart and laying it out. Remember, I want you to stretch it all the way out. I'm going to stay up so you can hear me talk. Now from here, remember, don't drop your bottom to the side. Square the hips up. Transfer the weight, distribute the weight evenly through your whole body so they do not drop to one side or the other. That's very important. And then just stay here and breathe. Keep the back toes dug into the mat. Breathe and relax. Transfer the weight evenly and just relax into the pose. Slowly bring it up and draw the shoulder blades down, really root down so you get that pigeon look. Down dog. And take it back. Same thing we're going to do here. Just get that down dog, root the heels, bend your knees slightly if you have to. And then from here, bring up the other leg, roll that hip, point your toes, get that nice big hip opening, and bring the knee through. And then lengthen and lay it out. All the way out. You lay it all the way out. Like this. I'm just going to stay up so I can talk. Now remember again, breathe, distribute your weight evenly, and relax into the pose through the breath and sink. Keep your back toes dug into the mat. Slowly bring it up, and again, like a pigeon, draw the shoulder blades down, root the hips, look like that pigeon, puff your chest out, and go back to a down dog. And from here, walk your feet forward, open your feet to the width of your mat, and hang like a rag doll, but keep your hips open and drop your head, but keep your arms, palms up. Don't hold on to anything. And let's roll it up vertebrae by vertebrae. And let's turn and open it up on the mat. So from here, first thing we're going to start with is a standing wide spread. From here, hands at the hips, begin heel lift into the heart. And then as you exhale, hinge and take your palms to the floor or your fingertips, or keep your hands on the hips. If you have the ability, you can flatten your palms, walking your palms back, squeezing into the root. Remember, the front of the legs are drawing up, spreading the sits bones, deepening the breath. Take it breath by breath, take it down. Squeeze into the root, Mula Bandha. Or as I always say, think of the Kegel method. Slowly bringing it up. Okay, from here, triangle pose. So arms up. Okay, big inhale, get the length. Remember, the hips are going back as you extend forward, so you lengthen through the inner ribs, the outer ribs, so that you get that length. Okay, we don't want to just crunch, we want length, okay? So you want to extend the arms, taking it only as far as you need to. You may have a block, or you may even be here, or you may be all the way down on the floor. Go wherever you need to, and then gaze up at the thumb in the air, making sure that this hand feels like it has a balloon attached to it, the hand in the air, and the hand on the leg. Don't lay your life into that arm. Keep it light as well. Deepen the breath. Up, come forward, hands to the hips, lift into the heart, and as you exhale, hinge, dropping it in, hold, keep the hands on the hips this time, and bring it up. Rotate to the other side for a triangle, arms up, same thing, inhale, get the length, get the reach, hand to the leg, arm into the air, feel like a balloon's tied to this hand, light hand on the leg, gazing up. Don't let your neck collapse. Keep your neck in alignment with the spine. Deepen the breath. Up, feet forward, hands to the hips. Big inhale, lift into the heart. And as you exhale, dropping it in, hands down the hips. Bringing it up. Now from here, we're going to be doing a reverse triangle, okay? So we're going to rotate, get a little bit more rotation so your hips are squared up in front of you. Arms up, big inhale. And as you exhale, you're going to take the hand down. Now this is where it gets a little bit more challenging for you depending on where you are. You can take your hand to the inside of that foot, hold the foot, or if you're more of an advanced, you can take it to the outside of that foot, get your alignment, and then if you can look down or you look up. Deepen the breath. And release. Coming up, back to the center, hands to the hips, lift into the heart, and taking it down. Bringing it up. Same thing, let's rotate our hips forward, square it up, arms out, big inhale, and as you exhale, hinge, again, hand to the inside of the foot, on top of the foot, or to the outside of the foot, depending on where you can go. Then gaze up, deepen the breath. Release, and come up, and bring it back forward. Hands to the hips, big inhale, lift into the heart, and as you exhale, taking it down. And bringing it up. Now from here, I'm going to turn my foot out. Again, arms up. And then I'm going to take it down to the inside of that foot, dropping it down all the way, okay? So I'm going to drop that knee open to the outside. In fact, let me rotate it to this side instead so you can see. So I'm taking that leg out. Now, pointing, and you can see the bottom of your foot. Then you can either stay here or you can drop it to your forearms. You get a great hip open. You're definitely feeling that right there. Stay here and breathe. Good. And then slowly release. From here, we're going to take it back to a down dog just for a moment. And bring the other leg forward. And I'll shift it to the outside on the other side so you can see it again. And I'm going to drop that knee open. See, you can see how it's dropping open now. And I can see the bottom of my foot. Now you can stay here with your palms down or drop it to your forearms if you have the flexibility. and then slowly release and take it back to a down dog. And then from here, you're going to walk your hands back and bring yourself back up to standing in the center of the mat. For one more pose, a standing balance pose, the eagle pose. Now this is the one where it's definitely going to take a little bit more of your balance. So I'm going to give you, there's a full-blown version where you can wrap all the way around, and there's one where you can just cross it up, okay? So from here, you're going to, I'll bend sideways here a little bit. I'm going to take my right arm over my left and cross, and then work on bringing my palms together. And you got to stay seated. To get in this pose, you got to stay seated. And depending on where my hips are, I may be able to get all the way, or I may not. It just depends on wherever I am and whatever I can do to maintain the balance and my focus. So now I'm going to cross the leg, my right over the left. And this is where I'm going to stay today. Feel comfortable, but because then what I got to do is I got to work on straightening and then sitting deep. And then we're going to release. And I'm working on getting my hips open as well. And one side's open more than the other. So let's see what happens on the other side. You never know. So I'll just stay like this. So on this side, left over right, sit, maintain your focus, get your palms together, sit deep, and I'm going to cross the leg over. And no, I think I'm going to be comfortable and just stay here today. Because then you have to maintain your focus and balance, and then you have to sit, straighten the spine. And then release, arms up, hands to the chest. See, that's a good example of not allowing the ego to come into it. I have done the ego pose tons and tons of times, but I haven't done it for a while. And instead of me struggling and to try to get into the pose and losing my balance and my focus, I said, you know what, I'm still gonna get the benefits, and I just need to do what I need to do. So there's days when you're gonna get the pose, and there's days when you're not. So just let it go and enjoy the class. That's all you can do with yoga. So from here, we're gonna bring it to a standing wide spread. Last time, lifting into the heart. And as you exhale, hinge and go down. Fingertips to the floor. Now what we're gonna do is we're going to walk our feet in a little bit. I'm gonna angle a little bit, and then I'm gonna squat. So I'm gonna squat down into a deep squat. Palms together, pushing into my knees. Nice big hip opener here, oh yeah. Definitely feel this one. Slowly release, and we're going to bring it to sitting on the floor, butterfly. Take the hands around the feet, peel the feet apart, draw the shoulder blades down, squeeze your bottom into the mat. You want to lengthen the knees and drop the knees. Good. Now from here, we're going to do a seated wide leg spread. Let me pull these pants up a little bit higher so you can see my legs on the mat so that I don't disappear. So I'm going to open up my legs as comfortably wide as I can right here. And then what I'm going to do is, the thing that you don't want to do is round and go forward, okay? You want to make sure that you have a nice straight spine, you're able to hinge. So you need to learn to come up on top of the sacrum so you can tilt it forward, okay? So from here, I want to inhale. Now, if you need to, put your hands behind you and lean forward, but if you have the capabilities and you can just take it out further, work on taking it out further. Slowly bring it up, turning to your side, and just take a little bow. Bring it up, take a bow to the other side. And then coming up, grabbing under. Now from here, we're going to be doing Gomukhasana. We're going to cross, we're going to work on pointing our knees forward, just like that. Okay? And then we're going to turn sideways a little bit so you can see. And then we're going to right over left and pull down. Releasing the arms up and draping it forward over the legs. And release. And let's rotate it to the other side now. Again, you want to work on getting your knees pointed forward. Get these situated so I can get this set up. I meant situated, but I just say situated sometimes. Is whatever. Okay, now from here, left over right, and pull down. Again, breathe deep. Releasing the arms up and stretching it out. And slowly coming up. Now from here, I'm just gonna twist like this. You can follow me. I'm gonna take this leg back, be like this. And then I'm going to twist and look over the shoulder. And slowly release. And let's take it to the other side. So you can see how I'm going to do it on both sides. Now take this leg through. Bend the leg here. And then I'm going to wrap around and look over my shoulder. And then slowly release. And let's bring it to laying on your back. And from here, let's just squeeze it in. Big hug. Grab your feet. Go to the bug pose, or some people call it the happy baby, and take the knees to the outside of the chest and down. And squeeze your legs in. Big hug. Good. Arms to a T. Legs to the right. Look to the left. And roll the left. Look to the right. And bring it back to the center. One more big hug. Squeeze it in. And then stretch it out on the floor for Shavasana, the resting pose. Arms to your side. Palms up. Relax and just hang out. Take these next few minutes. And just like a sponge, just let it all absorb into your body. Allow the yoga, the body, the mind to just soak it all in. Yoga is all about change. Yoga is about finding out where you are at this moment. So just experience where you are at this moment for these next few minutes. Take the peace and the strength and share it. Namaste.